Hi guys, it's Scotty back for day 2 of Chepstow, Cheltenham exchange team. Thanks again as ever for asking me back. So day 2, here we go. Looking through the card, I'm not really overly excited again. I think with the lack of rain, I think we're just struggling for some competitive racing. I know it's still early days, but looking forward to seeing McFabulous make his chase debut. I think he's going to be a good chaser this season, and he's not going to be my selection odds on for a horse making his chasing debut. Is not really my cup of tea, but my pick comes in the 327, and that is the Jon Ayres handicap chase. And I think it's a simple selection. I hate to put favourites up again, but I just think it's one of those meetings this weekend. Paint the Dream, 4th in the meddling chase, 4th behind a horse, Fakir Dudery. He's a multiple Grade 1 winner. Wasn't beaten that far, just over 11 lengths. It's definitely the best form in this race, and he's rated so far ahead of his closest rival. I think the danger could be the outsider of the 4th, Flicker Voyo, but for me, Paint the Dream. The only slight concern would be Fergal O'Brien. He's only had 3 winners from his last 28 runners in the last 14 days, 11% strike rate. But I think the more as the weeks go on, the better horses come out. And I think this is one of Fergal's best horses, if not his best horse in the yard. So I expect him to win. I'll just give a little, not a selection as such, but 2 quick shout outs. T Clipper in the handicap chase I think will go well. I think he's done well in 2 big festivals this spring, and that was at Aintree at Cheltenham, placed in 2 big races there. And the Saintsia Girl, carrying a lot of weight in the 4-year-old hurdle, but I expect him to go well as well. But my main selection is Paint the Dream in the 327.
Hi, this is Jaime Wrenn here of Cheltmental. Hope you all had a good day on the Friday of Chepstow. I just have 2 for tomorrow in the 1602 to 402, the Silver Trophy. I can't get away from Did Daily Viota as an each way bet to nothing. He was second in the race off 129. I know Niall Hoolan took £5 off last year, but this year he's 131, and Niall Hoolan's taken £3 off. Been reasonable form in the flat all summer, and I think he's a bet in the Silver Trophy. Did Daily Viota, not the most frequent winner, but look, I take a chance on him. And in the next race, the 437, I can't get away from Saint Segal here. I think he's a massive price, 13 to 2, 7 to 1, 6 to 1 at a place. Look at the way he tanked through the boodles. I mean, like, he was there with Gaelic Warrior and Brazil at the second last, just didn't get up the hill. I think Chepstow suited him better. He's formed behind all the right horses. Look at Prairie Dancer, finished above him. Prairie Dancer holds up in a handicap hurdle in the stole. Gaelic Warrior, everyone stepping up to be a novice to follow this year. Brazil ran well the last day behind Chem Kiley. Ibrick Desai was in there, all of them, and I think he's a great bet. I suppose one for the left field in the richest bumper in Britain, in the Cesarovic tomorrow. My son is called Oscar, so I have to, for the greatest trainer in Ireland, Charles Burns, run for Oscar. I'm all over it. Thanks, guys, to the Cheltenham Exchange, and have a great weekend.
Oi, oi, Dave from Cheltmental here. It is day 2 of the Chepstow season opener. Decent Saturday racing. Ground looks fast enough. We haven't seen Friday's racing. I'm recording this in the morning, but I do have a race where I fancy a bet, but I'm also going to give you a couple of races just to keep an eye on. So, first race to keep an eye on is the 217, the Native River Handicap Chase. This is an ultra competitive race. Genuinely, most of the horse in this race you could make a case for. However, I'm quite keen to see how Jacamar goes for Milton Harris and Harry Reid. Now, Milton Harris is in decent form at the moment. This horse, Jacamar, is stepping up to 3 miles, well, just shy of, for the first time in his career. Not necessarily from a family of horses that are going to stay, but that never stopped Flatbread Tiger Roll, did it? This horse has got some really good middle distance form. For him to be able to progress and win off his current mark, which is 139, something needs to change, and the trip is changing here. I think he's got a proper chance. He ran in the Silver Hurdle last year before going chasing, was well beaten and was a big price that day. So maybe he might need his opening run for the season. I'm prepared to watch and see how he gets on here, with a view that I think stepping up in trip, and this horse being a 7-year-old means that he's got some improvement in him this season and is one to definitely keep an eye on. Then we have the 252, the Novices Chase. Now, this is an interesting race purely for the fact that McFabulous and Sebastopol is a bit of a match. However, Sebastopol doesn't jump the greatest, but I do think he is a very solid yardstick. I think he's a really nice horse, and I also do think this step up in trip will bring out significant improvement in him, and he has won over fences around this track. Now, McFabulous did obviously win round here, has got some decent form in the bank, including at the back end of last season. But I'm a little bit concerned about this horse's jumping over hurdles, and he does seem to lug a bit right. He can hang. He has hung at this track before as well. Now, he is a good horse. Sebastopol is a solid yardstick, as I've said. The other two probably shouldn't really be too involved, but I'd just take McFabulous's chasing debut with a pinch of salt. I'd probably want to watch him to see his attitude and see how he gets on over fences. So that's a watching brief for sure. I've waffled enough. Let's get on to the bets. The 402, the Silver Trophy Handicap Hurdle. I'm going to play 2 against the field here. Now, Broomfield Berg was 130 rated when he should have won at Cheltenham. He idled all over the place, eyeballed the horse, and just never went through with it. So we know he's a bit of a dog. But there's 10 runners in the field. He looks like a solid each-way proposition in and around a 6-1 mark at the moment. The other horse that I like is Lord Baddesley. Now, this horse was 4th in a Betfair hurdle at Newbury. He was a big price that day, 66-1. It was bigger in the morning, but he stayed on nicely. Now, this horse has tried the middle trip twice. Once when he pulled up over fences, and the last day over hurdles when he fell behind Barley, who's also in this race. Now, he was travelling well that day. Too far out to really say what he would have done, but I do think the step up in trip is going to bring out improvement from Lord Baddesley. He's 123 rated. That's the mark that he was 4th in that Betfair hurdle. Again, there's 10 runners. I think he's a muggy each way bet as well. I can see both of those horses picking up or making up some places for this race, and I think those are the pair that I will be betting in here. So be lucky with whatever you've done, and I will see you again soon. Cheers, boys.
Hello everyone, Ian here from the Cheltenham Exchange. Just a one tip for me for Saturday's jump season's opening card at Chepstow, and it's Bagheera Ginge in a 4:37 4-year-old hurdle for Nigel and Sam Tristan Davis. Ginge has had 4 races so far this summer, winning his last 2 at Newton Abbot and Stratford, and has not been out the top 3. Ginge finished second to Mando Cello at Uttoxeter in July, who has gone on to win Class 2 races and frank the form further. The good ground should suit. There's a nice way to Stone 6. The step down trip is a surprise, but I'm sure Ginge will relish the challenge. Good luck, everyone.
Hello, this is John here again from the Cheltenham Exchange with a couple of picks for tomorrow's racing at Chepstow. My first pick comes in the Native River Handicap Chase, which is a 2:17 race, and it is the Irish Raider Peregrine Run, which I will back each way. On this old-timer's last visit to these shores, he scored with a 3-length victory at Worcester. He does run in this off top weight, but I don't think Peter Fahey has sent him over here for a holiday. My second pick comes in the 3:27 race and is the Paul Nicholls trained Flick Oi Voyou. Even though he is the outsider of the 4, he has won in small fields before and won his first ever hurdle race back at this track in October 2020. Good luck all, and let's bash those bookies.
Hello, this is Alex here for the Cheltenham Exchange, here to give you my selection for day 2 of the Chepstow Jumps opener. My selection for day 2 is Lord Baddesley in the Silver Trophy. Ran a very good 4th at Newbury in the Betfair Hurdle and followed it up. Well, he was going very well when he came down in his next race that was won by Bally, and to be honest, I think he'd have got there. I think he was going to win that race. Now, Chris Gordon, his trainer, has won the last 4 races that he's put horse in. So clearly the yard's in good form, and I'm really happy to get involved. He's on a nice each way price as well. Good luck with your bets.
I have one selection from Chepstow ahead of Saturday's card on the second day of their jump season opener. The horse that's caught my eye is the ever-consistent Kitty's Light, who lines up in the 2:17 Native River Handicap Chase, run over a trip just shy of 3 miles. He went well first time out last year in this race, where he just failed when rated a pound lower. I think he's a really likeable horse. He was tough and hardy as a 5-year-old, and I think he could be even better at 6. I'd love to see him win a big prize this season. He's been going close quite often in high-class races when higher rated, and off a mark of 144, he should be tough to beat. The ground as well as the trip should suit, so I do expect him to go close. I'm also looking forward to seeing how a few others get on the card. McFabulous making his chase debut in the 2:52 against a horse that is often the bridesmaid in Sebastopol. Paint the Dream is a real favourite of mine, carrying top weight in the 3:27 handicap. And the Silver Trophy handicap hurdle looks an interesting renewal that I'll be keeping a close eye on. Competitive field heads to post, and I'm intrigued to see how they get on.